Lucky little news day, huh?
Yeah, we had CPI
How do you get this cursor to be white?
on Volumetrica.
The grid cursor.
Oh, I take the grid like lines off. So you go up to properties, yeah,
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
and then select enabled off, like take enabled off when it said grid. Yeah, right there, and then save that. All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
share
I
the
need to
link.
talk to it.
All right, so we are live on YouTube. Good morning, guys. I'm gonna start this on Twitter right now, and we'll get our people in here. All right, we should be live across both platforms. So good morning to the early people starting in here with us. So again, I'm joined by Steve, the CEO of Halcyon. Um, so he's going to be doing live trading with us. I'm going to teach him how to trade ES today. Um, so he can be a sophisticated trader with the rest of us. So we're going to be very supportive of Steve and his transition today. Um, but but no, he's going to be trading NQ. For those of you who like NQ, like I said, you can make incredible money on NQ. Uh, so I'll be trading ES. He'll be doing that, and personally, I'm waiting 15 minutes like I always do.
Yeah, me too, especially after a hot ticket news day today. As you can see, I mean, on NQ alone, we're down over 130 points from the peak of the news. So I normally like to sit for 15 or 30 minutes on a day like this.
Yeah, I do the same, man. I just sit here and chew on some nicotine, and it helps get me through it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no point in risking capital for, some news candle or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but on that point as well, if you guys are a Halcyon trader, you can certainly trade the news if you choose to. I mean, it's you're rolling the dice, in my opinion, but you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. Um, there is a lot of news strategies. Like I have a strategy that is mainly for news, right?
Uh huh.
So it can work to your benefit. We're not going to penalize you if you want to trade news.
Sorry, just trying to get the Twitter chat pulled up for myself so I can look at those comments too. All right, good to go. Morning, Sasha. Good to see you. Yeah, imposter. Steve switched to the black charts. He came back to the correct side of trading, so we got rid of those white ones.
No, I was just tired of listening to Gary.
I hear that a lot, actually.
Let's see here. So I trade NQ pretty much every single day, right? So
Hmm.
um, I can tell right now that we do have a not a gap, but price discrepancy from a while back, from like your 800 to basically um, 22 flat. So for everybody that doesn't know, 22,000 to 21,800. So we could just dance in here for a little while before we get a move. So you very well may not see me taking anything for 30 minutes or more today.
Well, that's good because the imposter in the chat is saying that we just got to get you off of EQ anyway.
Yeah, I know, man. But you won't find it before 2025,
No,
May
it doesn't exist before.
2025.
Yeah, it doesn't exist before
Yeah.
that. We invented it.
Yeah, it's that's what you do nowadays. You just make up names for stuff that's been around for 100 years and you just call it yours and you're a genius then.
Yeah, I mean, and then you just say you'll never find this title anywhere. $10 million if you do. It's like, yeah, well, no, duh, you won't find it anywhere. You made up a word.
Yeah, and really all we're talking about is discount and value.
Yeah,
But we can call it whatever we want, right?
I mean, we can get crafty, man, with some names.
Yeah. 3-star shooter discount gapper.
I mean, that one's good. I came up with the Nike pattern a couple months ago. That's a hit.
Yeah, I've been using the Nike pattern ever since, man. It hasn't let me down. And we're talking $2,000 banger trades every day. As soon as you see the pattern form, you just hit buy and you just spam buy as much as you possibly can.
You just do it, some would say.
Yeah. Too funny.
So I'm drinking sparkling water this morning, and I got to cancel out being semi-healthy with a good Coke Zero. So a good balance. Like do one thing healthy and then cancel it out with something else.
Sparkling water, huh?
Oh, dude, it's the best. Why, you have something against sparkling water?
No, I don't have anything against anything.
Just the way that you said that, I was like, what's coming?
No, no. If I was an advantageous trader, I might short here for a little sweep down, but you'd have to run a big stop.
Don't tempt me.
And just to refresh for anybody that's joining the chat or new in the stream here, um, I'm not like a scalp trader, but if I do say a trade, you could probably more than likely get 10 or 15 points on NQ with whatever I may mention. I do hold for, 50, 100, 150 points. So just want to put that out there.
That's impressive. I'm holding for 10 points.
Yeah, we might come up into the 22,003 to 7 range here.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you were to take that short a couple minutes ago, you'd probably still be in it. I think it was like in the high 80s. This might slam down into 30 or 40.
Yeah, I'm watching on ES here, guys. 60-50 is going to be my level that I'm trying to play off of today. Either we're going to reject down hard off of that 60-50, and that's going to be resistance, or we can break through 60-50, hope that we hold, and use it as our support area. Morning, Corey. Good to see you here, brother. Same to you, Nep.
Oh, a little slip.
Yeah, 5 more minutes of sitting on hands for me, guys, and then I'll look to get into something if it's there. What's up, Adam? It's looking, guys, like we might want to pop that 60-50 here on ES. Just a quick little pop.
Yeah, if NQ can't really hold here, we could see quite a big drop coming, 25, 30 points. Let's see what ES is doing. Mm-mm-mm.
Listen, if you want to trade ES with us today, we're more than welcome to let you do it.
Yeah, I mean, I can, man. I traded ES for years. Years. Long.
Years.
Yeah. You might get a little consolidation in the uh, high to low 40s here. It might churn a little bit before it really gives you the move.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at a long-term ES chart in a long time. Let's do 4 hour.
What's your favorite chart time frames to look at since we're on that subject?
So I always say like don't ever trade with a bias, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you can have a 4 hour chart that's rising and that like doesn't mean anything to a degree, as you can see, like in this little area, that's a 50-point drop, right? But typically what I'll do when I start my morning is I will go to a 4 hour, then down to a 1 hour, 15 minute, and I trade off of a 3 minute chart on NQ.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's typically where I start. Now, when I trade, like not with you, like at the office, I do have 5 large monitors. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I have all those time frames up at once.
Sure.
Because each time frame will have, a different support or resistance level associated with it. And for me, it's just easier to see it all at once, so then I know what's going on at all times. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much use your standard, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 3 minute to take the take the trade on the chart. What about you?
So I keep the 2 minute for my entries, and that's what's on screen is the 2 minute chart. I always look at a 5 minute chart off screen as well, just to get like a better picture for the scalp that I'm doing. Then I keep a 1 hour chart, and then that's pretty much it. Where I'm a quick base scalper, then those are the 3 time frames that I use.
Yeah, those are good.
All right, first 15 minutes in the books, guys.
I lost my 9 EMA, man. There was a gentleman that commented on Twitter about using indicators, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
his name was Chris.
He's in our YouTube
And
chat right now. I'm not sure if you have that chat pulled up as well.
no, I don't. But like I can tell you that, um, indicators like a 9 EMA, they're really popular. You know,
Yeah, I used to, for a long time, use the 9 and the 21 EMAs when I was doing a lot of scalps on low float volume.
oh yeah, yeah, those will definitely be a real good guide for you, man, because you can get that little morning flush right to like the 21
Yeah.
EMA and
Order
get in
filled.
right around there, and you can get a 30-cent scalp, something like that. And if you're
Order
pushing
filled.
10,000 contracts, which is easily doable when they're high volume like that, you'll run. Yeah. So, like I said, that short that you could have taken
Oh, we're in it.
at open. Yeah. I mean, heck, we're even down into the 30s now that on NQ. I just don't trade the first 15
Order
minutes, but
filled.
that was a solid trade right there in the high 80s. You would have had, I don't know, $300 of risk. And now you'd be sitting at like 1,200 of reward. Nice 4R.
I just took my scalp off right there. I wanted to see if we were going to break under that open range, which we did. And now I kind of want to see if we come back up and retest it, and then I'll look to get short again.
I appreciate you having me on today, but I can tell you full transparency, days like today, I don't really ever trade. I don't ever really trade big news days.
hmm You know, it,
But we'll get it.
yeah, I mean, me, like, I always take every day, like, I have no expectations when I wake up. Just whatever the chart's giving me, then that's what I'm going to do. Some days I wake up with all the best intentions in the world to have a fantastic day, and I just sit here all day with nothing happening. So
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, do you typically like trade every day?
I try. I mean, I wake up with the best intentions every day. Um, I always stay in my routine. I'm like, all right, well, I know the setups I'm going to look for. If they come, I'm going to trade them. So I always try, but it doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah, I hear you. I look at the charts every day. I may only actually trade like 2 or 3 days out of a week, though. See if I can fix these little gators here. Just correct that real.
Yeah, and see, we're doing on ES, guys. Like, that's why I took that scalp off quickly because we're testing the open range low again. Now, I would like to fail the open range low on this test, is what I would like to happen. Then I'll go short again, but I just want to see if it's going to hold it or if we can go back down.
Yeah, that would have been a solid trade there. You're looking at 70 points, peak to trough.
I got a little $400 hitter in on each account, so not bad for an opening trade.
Oh, you're already in. You're already green.
Oh yeah, man. Sophisticated over here.
Everybody's gonna start asking what I'm doing now, right? Like, does this guy even trade? I haven't had enough coffee yet.
That's why I got the Coke Zero, man. 10 of these a day gets you just to the right level of focus.
Let's get back to the 3-minute here.
Someone just said that order filled sound had me panicked.
That's great.
People are like, he's just hitting buttons, man. He's betting red or black.
Hey, that's how the curly top Furu kids do it these days, man. Just slam the buttons and hope for the best.
I mean, if you blow accounts, man, reset them.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little edgy today. My guys have been telling me what's going on social media. So,
Which part are you referring to?
I there's some guys calling out all these younger, traders, saying like you can't really be teaching people, and I think it's hilarious because he tried to sell us a course or a package, and I was like, you do realize that we're like an institutional firm, right, man? Which was just out there.
Sell a course.
I can't stop laughing about it.
Buy my course.
Yeah, he was like, I can help you guys so much, blah blah blah, and I was like, you do realize that we're like an borderline institutional firm, right? Like we're a real prop firm. I don't know what you're gonna help us with, but okay,
Order
thanks.
filled.
And then he goes like 3 days later talking about, you should be ashamed of yourself pushing a course and trying to sell something, blah blah blah.
Nice.
You don't have 10 years experience or verified broker statements. How can you claim to know what you're doing? And so my guys are showing me his Twitter, and they're like, this guy literally is trying to sell like a whole system on here. I was like, man, you can't make this shit up. And then they showed me that you yourself were having a little disagreement with somebody that said he could posted that we had him blocked. And I was like, yeah, and he's going to stay blocked. Like the young kids say, I'm standing on business on that.
Yep.
It's just too out there for me.
Well, you know what the thing is, man? Like, I'm not going out there making claims that, like, I can beat every streamer up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not making that claim. However, as someone that's competed in competitive, combat sports for about 10 years, I will certainly answer the claim that anyone's making, and then they go run and hide and then make up some like nonsense. No, I'm not going to box you. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, you bought followers. I didn't. But it's like, man, I thought you could beat everybody up. So now why are you trying to find any reason to run and duck? It would be fun. I would love to go do it. I would love to go to Florida. We could stream the whole thing. I think it would be a great evening for me.
Yeah, it would be fun, but I just don't understand how people can make such bold statements and claims, and then when somebody rises to the occasion, so to say, it's, oh no, man, that's not what do you think? I'm gonna go after everybody, or
Well, that's kind of what you
whatever
said.
he said. Yeah, and then he posted a screenshot that we had him blocked, and my guys were like, yeah, what do you want to do here? And I was like, what? Don't even bother. Like, that's how it's going to stay. And I assure everybody that he was blocked long before anything transpired.
Yeah,
I
man,
don't want anything to do or associated with him.
he's a very insulting, condescending guy. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. That's not who I am. I don't operate that way. So that's the reason for that.
Well,
Uh, so NQ's dancing back up here. I'd be leery of another little pullback, but you could mid 60s shoot for a long. You'd probably have to have a 20-point stop if you wanted, but you could. Yeah, here we go.
I'm in a little
Maybe
starter
even,
long on ES. I've just been sitting in it here on the break of 60.50. So I'm just sitting in that. I just want to go reclaim this. Let me put a take profit. I know you don't like the word take profit.
yeah, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. I'm going to put a starter in the high 70s, and then I'm going to put another one in the mid 60s. And if that crashes, we're going to go to 40s for a stop.
Order filled.
Actually, sorry, I gotta. Move you back up to match.
No, man, I'm gonna go for it. I'm putting
Order
on another
filled.
contract.
Yeah, if I can get a break here, just so everybody knows of like the 22,000s, I might get in. I normally don't trade breakout, so I might look for it to pop and then retrace back into the low
Sure.
22,000s or high 90s. Um, I'm I'm kind of a price hunter when it comes to trading. You know, I like to have nice clean fills. Not saying that they always are, but yeah, I mean, if you got in the mid 70s with me here, you could be up to $300 right now for a nice quick little scalp. Which those little tiny base hits like that, man, I mean, they really move accounts. If you can do
Oh,
that
dude,
2, 3 times a day.
I've made a career off of base hits.
Yeah. Yeah. I did too for the longest time. Sorry, I gotta move these. I don't like those there.
Order filled.
All right, took one of my contracts
Yeah.
off right here. Still got two that I'm gonna try to let go up to that 60.55.
Sorry guys for this distraction on the charts. I don't like those orders on the right. Yeah, this might be a nice little place to drop another one in too for an ad. This might be that tiny little pullback.
I'm not sure about NQ because I'm just watching ES, but we're just hovering right above the mid of that open range area. So, we're slightly above the upside of the middle level. Let's see if we can hold there.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting too. But on that news candle, we're about 70% down though. So if you're like a fib trader, that could be a good entry too. I don't use fibs, but Fibonacci. You can just look at a candle and tell, where you're
Yeah,
at percentage wise, or halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, right?
yeah, exactly.
I guess if I were to target something on this position on NQ, it would be into this pre-opening consolidation area. So maybe mid teens, so 22,000, like 13 to maybe even like 19, something like that. Are you long right now?
I am. I'm just 2 contracts long. I had 3, took 1 off, um, and I'm letting these other 2 ride for a second. I'm just looking for a slight bigger of a push, slightly bigger.
Yeah, me too. It didn't really move too much here. I mean, again, if you're a scalp trader, you could have easily have gotten 10, 15 points off that.
I'm keeping a tight stop on my 2 contracts in case, it fills this little area.
Order filled.
All right.
Order filled.
Took 1 more off right there for me personally. I'm going to move this up right under the structure here. What's up, StatBet? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, if we can break like 95 and a half up into 22,000, this could get a little momentum here. There's some distance in here. I'm going to take my other buy off and adjust my stops here.
That's what I'm doing as well. I'm just pulling this stop up with me. I just got it trailing up with me right now, on the way to my target zone, and I'll keep moving it up. That way I'm capturing as much profit as possible in case the move wants to fail.
Yeah. I mean, you could go break even right here, like we're up 420, 50, whatever you want to call it. We're getting into that high 90s, 22,000 area. So this could dance a little bit, but it also can explode through. I'm still willing to risk the 350. I just tighten my
Order filled.
stop by 10 points. That's how I trade instead of going break even, because NQ can wick you out real quick, but then complete the move.
All right, mine's off right there, so I'm all out. I'm up 737 in each account. I still think that it could go hit that target I was looking for, but at the same time, I'm not going to be upset about locking in money.
No, nothing ever wrong with that. Like I said, I mean, we see some data, and a lot of the better traders, they take, 1, maybe 2 trades a day, and they are base hits. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with anybody else's system. I'm just saying the consistency factor and achieving, profit over a longer term time.
So,
It's those little base hits, you know.
so since we got you on here and you kind of brought that subject up, are you allowed to talk about like what are the, I guess, not to say like biggest mistakes, but like what are the, I guess, most crippling habits that you see that cause people to lose?
Yeah, I mean, we can pretty much talk about anything because it's not going to be account specific, right?
Sure,
So
yeah.
if people have questions, like seize the opportunity, so to say. Um, yeah, NQs were tracing back on me. Good thing I didn't place my stop at break even, right? Okay, so to answer the question, you said crippling.
Yeah, like
Uh,
kind of what tendencies or patterns do you see across the board, generally speaking, that kind of hinder people in progressing?
the biggest one I would have to say is like if we were to look at an account or multiple accounts, or we throw 100 accounts into our systems, right? It's if you have like your first losing trade, second losing trade, and you don't stop for the day. You
Okay.
just continue. And I believe that's more of a psychological thing where people believe that they need to get it back. But I assure you, the market is there tomorrow, the day after that. Trading from a position of being behind is probably one of the worst feelings for a trader there is.
It is. I can agree to that.
But if you can understand that when you place your next trade, you're from a position of being behind, and you can either just not place that next trade or still follow your system. Because we'll see people, let's say, go 2 trades negative. What I mean by that is 2 losing trades. And then they take the next third and, let's say, final trade, and that trade is a winner, but they cut it and they've only recouped what they lost. Where in all reality, had they had stuck to their still same system, they probably could have made 3 or 4 times more profit. But you're trading from a position of being behind, which is never a good feeling to be in.
Sure. Um,
So that is one of our most common, I guess, not account crippling, but for a lack of better words, one of the most common, account losing tendencies. I don't know the correct way to say it. Just don't trade from behind.
I,
Just call it a day.
yeah, I'll just speak about myself. Like what I know about myself, that my biggest problem is, because no matter how long that you've been trading, you still have some things that you can work on that might be a weaker point for you. Um, my biggest problem comes when, like, let's say I'm up a decent day, whatever dollar amount you might call it, and then let's say I want to make 300 or 400 more dollars, and I'm done, and I go in for a trade, and then I lose like 200 or 300. No big deal. Should just walk away, be done for the day. Still a sick day. It's like, no, but I was up 200 or 300 more dollars. Let me just get that back really fast, and then I'm done. And then same thing like you're saying. Then that's when trouble can set in.
Yeah, and they're all both psychology, right? Like I had phases like that where
Order
it
filled.
was, I made 400 today, let's just say hypothetically,
Order
right?
filled.
And then you're like, oh, well, the market's still moving. I can get another 400 out of it. And before you
Sure.
know it, you're staring down 400 negative, and you're like, what the heck just happened? When in all reality, you should have literally just taken your money and walked away.
Yeah.
$400 for a day's worth of work in the markets is really good money.
It
And
is.
I think that there's this like drastic misconception that like you have to make 10, 20, 50, 100,000 in a day or a week to be considered a trader. But I assure you, if you're making, 100, 200, 300 in a day as a trader, like you're doing well. You're doing extremely well, especially if you can consistently replicate that.
Sure.
um, I mean, we're going up against, like, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for a money pit where they just have unlimited capital to throw at it. So if you can consistently extract 100, 300 a day out of the market, I mean, 252
Order
trading
filled.
days, you start doing the math.
I tried another little long right there. Just got stopped out on it. I thought that we were going to break 60-50 again. Um, but I kept a tight stop right there. Um, I think we're dancing around here. I still think we could break 60-50.
Yeah, so your 60-50 is my 2200 on NQ, and
Got
it's
you.
doing
Order filled.
not what I said, but
Order
basically
filled.
what I
Order filled.
anticipated it was going to do, just dance from,
Sure.
in a 30-point range here, 30 to 40-point range. So I am going to hold for the break and hopefully for a push up.
Yeah, I got
So we'll
back
see.
in. Like that's the thing about my style of trading. Like as long as the setup stays valid, I'll keep shooting the ball.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about like the flip side too, right? So we said, what are the most account crippling things, which I think that's a good way of putting it. Um, we can say, what do we see where accounts are the most successful? And it typically is they take one trade a day, the trade's the winner. They make their 300 bucks, $150, whatever it is. We've even seen some where they chip at $50, $60 wins and with like a 90% win rate, and they don't lose more than $50 either. It's just a
Yeah.
1-to-1. But if you're doing that day in and day out, those are some of the most successful accounts that we see. So we're up, not to cut it short, we're up 500 right now. We did get a little bit of a break into that 22,003. Like I said, that was the area we got to get through there. But you could have easily have taken off profit. I also swear I'm watching this live, not like any other time. I do trade NQ every single day, so I kind of know, not to a degree, where it's going, but what it's going to do. And I don't make those bold claims on Twitter, but yeah, it tapped 22,004.5, I believe. So basically, where I said to take profit at. Yeah, so those are the better traders. I guess let's just be blunt about it. They
Sure.
take one, maybe two trades a day. And what we also see is if their first trade is a loss, they're just done for the day. They're basically like one trade traders. They've ingrained in their head where you get one shot at this, so we're going to wait for the absolute best setup. We're not just going to go in and click buttons and hope. Hopium is a disaster for an
Order
account.
filled.
So they wait for their setup whenever that may come. They have a set time frame. Outliers. They're not trading at 3 p.m. They're not trading, Globex. If they trade from 9 to 11 a.m., that's it. And there's nothing outside of that. And it's very, very, very consistent. You can see it. So I
Nice.
would advise people to find what's good for you. Take your swings. Know that you only got one swing at it. You only got one stand at the plate, and you get one swing. You know what I mean? And you got to make it count. Um, I'm I'm just gonna mark it out right here. I'm fine with the profit right now, 600 something. So I'm just gonna mark it out.
Order filled.
I probably will go into the teens, but I just don't feel like being in a trade right now. Full transparency.
I got
You have to
one
know
that I'm gonna
yourself
ride.
too. So like that's a good example. You have to know yourself too. Like I had reached my mental limit for that trade,
Sure.
because I'm not getting the big moves that I want. So, knowing yourself, knowing your psychology, just get out. We were in that for 20 plus minutes. It could go further, but I'm happy with the $600. I just didn't feel like being in it anymore.
Oh, certainly.
Order filled.
I took mine right there too. It tapped right at that 60.55 that I was calling for. Um, so that one took me a couple shots. I got stopped out in it one time. Still secured profits. Overall, it was a profitable setup for me, but it just took me a couple shots instead of one.
I gotta tease you, Gary, man. These dark charts are hard for me.
Well, man, I mean, everything's not back like it was on the FinViz era. We've evolved.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that one again, man. uh, so you got the chat pulled. How's it? How's everybody? doing so far today? Any
Um,
questions or anything?
there are a couple questions. Let me scroll up here. More chat is coming through on YouTube today than Twitter. We have 850 viewers on Twitter right now, 41 on YouTube, but the YouTube chat is much more active. Um, all right, so this guy says, I have two eval accounts. When one graduates to a sim, can I make the second eval copy a sim account? Meaning, like, can he copy trade a sim account and an eval account at the same time?
Yeah, I would do that. I would lead with like your sim brokerage or your funded if you're gonna copy trade those. So then that way you have your, you know, essentially payout account as your front account.
Hmm.
That's if you're asking, that's personally how I would do it.
Yeah, I think he was
But yes.
asking, can it be done? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and with our accounts being like one-time payment only, a lot of people bank them. So they'll go buy, 5, 10 accounts and trade them, get them to a past status, and then just move, you know, 2 or 3 through the sim brokerage phase. Because then once those 2 or 3 go live, you just, kind of grab back your other ones that are already passed and move those in through because we have absolutely no limitations on how many live accounts you can have. And at some point, if you have a trader that has, let's say, 10 or 15 live accounts, we would just give you a phone call and say, hey, why don't we just consolidate this into, 1, 2, or 3, and we'll just, bunch all the margin together and you'll just be trading bigger size. So it's a little less, for them to keep track of. But yeah, to copy trade them, do it however you want, bank them. Like I said, one-time payment. Um, obviously at the end of the day, the goal is to get every single account to live. So, we work with you. We'll work with you any way we can, um, to get you the most capital you can.
We're testing here on ES, guys, this open range high. I'm starting to, you know what? I'm going to
Order
put
fill.
one back on for this open range high breakout. That's one of my
Yeah, we're
favorite
in NQ.
setups.
We're in NQ2, kind of right where I had said, the 17 to 10-ish area, breaking through that 20 or 22,003. So this is into your opening range again. Here we go. We might even push into that 19. Um, Again, I just didn't feel like mentally being in that trade anymore. I'm not a woulda, coulda, shoulda trader. I don't think about like what profits I missed out on by
Sure.
exiting a trade in
Same.
profit. Like that's a disaster.
It is. Yeah, we're getting this open range break.
Order filled.
I'm going to average up into that a little bit and see if we can properly push through.
You're adding into momentum into your position.
Yeah, so when I see like it's going in my direction, uh, I try not to have like a scared mindset, for me personally, that it's going to like snap back down on me. Like if the trade is moving my direction, then I like to think it's going to keep moving my direction.
So that's a big psychological hurdle for a lot of traders to get through. And we actually work with a lot of traders in that aspect. Can I ask you, like, in, you know, full transparency, it took me probably like 2 or 3 years of consistently trying and doing that before I felt like fully comfortable. And I'll add all day long to a winning position. But like, how long do you think that took you to develop that
Oh,
ingrained mindset, like the trade is going my way, let's pile it on, let's be right even more?
dude, it took me years. Like, for the longest time, I would only add on like, major dips, like support levels. I was terrified to add up. And then like the stock would start moving my direction. I'm selling as fast as I can because I'm like, oh no, it's going to come back down. It's going to come back down. But then I looked at it. I'm like, before I was the trader that I am now, I would just keep averaging down. And I'm like, okay, I have no problem adding into a loser. Why can I not add into a winner? So it, you know, it was a multi-year process for me to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's good. Like, I appreciate the honesty. Like I said, it took me a good 2 or 3 years, but I think a lot of people start like what you said, right? Like, I'm gonna buy what on a dip. I'm gonna average when it's not going my way. And for some reason, like, people are so fearful to add when it is going your way, when you get that, like, level break, like, stick a contract on. Like, who cares about your price average as long as you're still positive in the trade? Now
Yeah,
you're positive 2 times more, right? Because now you have
exactly.
more on. Yeah, it did take me some time, and yeah, I wouldn't be doubtful if everybody had the same answer, at
I
least
was
a year, maybe 2 years.
I was talking to somebody over the weekend. They actually trade on a Halcyon account, and like we were just doing a couple little tweaks with, like, hey, like maybe let's try this. Let's see if you have a better week. And I started asking them questions, and I was like, all right, well, are you just averaging down, like if it's going against you? And they're like, no, I'm not. Like I'm not averaging down at all. I have no problem adding up. I'm like, well, that's fantastic. That's just a couple tweaks and you're going to be just fine because, in my opinion, one of the major problems traders have is they just keep averaging down, averaging down. They don't know when to cut a loser, but they won't add to a winner.
Yeah, it is. We actually see it a lot, and then what we do see, and this is not to scare anybody into averaging up too much up, like adding too much up, right? So like if your first position is let's say 3 micros, your ad should be, 1 to 2 micros, right? You have to make it relative to your
Yeah,
starting position. So if I start with 3 NQ, right, I'm going to add 1 NQ at a certain level, right? Then I'll maybe add another one to get to 5 total. But after that, if I start adding, now my average price is going to drastically chase where price currently is
sure.
because you're tipping the pendulum of to your original starter position. So there is a lot to it. You have to really try it and get used to it.
Yeah,
And
and
by all means, if you need help, like send in a support ticket. My guys do send tickets to me. If you say, hey, I need help with adding to positions, or can we do a 30-minute Zoom and you can kind of show me how you would do it. Just send that in and I will respond to you. I will get with you on that.
yeah, but
Yeah, so we're still dancing here. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no,
Greg.
no, you brought up a good point. That you don't care about like what the average says, which I don't either. Like I truly don't care. Like if I have that nice, pretty average, that looks good for a screenshot. Because at the end of the day, I don't care about screenshots. I care about making money.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, so like going back to like my trade, and again, I just didn't mentally feel like being in it. So I was in at like 77. I did mention, if we can break through 22,000, was looking to add. So if you added there, your average would have been about 2193, something like that. And we're already at 22,025. So I would have had 2 contracts at 30 points. That's 1,200 bucks. Or 1 contract at 50 points, which is 1,000. So you increase your profit by adding into momentum, adding into your trade, right?
Order filled.
Okay, now I took one of mine off at 60-60 here, just because I want to
And a
see
good
if,
push.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't hold for as long as Steve does. Well, one, I mean, he's trading NQ, so ES doesn't move as much. But again, I know myself, and like I'm very okay with admitting I don't have the trader like whatever is ingrained like for a trader to hold for those big moves. For me, it's the opposite. It's just like shoot the ball, scalp, scalp, scalp. So I know that about myself. When I deviate away from that, then my win rate starts going down.
That's a good talking point though too. So like being self-aware of your personality,
Yeah.
right? So
And
your personality is I want to make my
Order
four or five
filled.
hundred whatever it is, right? Make my quick money and get out. You just feel more comfortable with that. And I keep saying it, right? Like mentally in the trade, like this trade is definitely working out from the one I took earlier. We would have been up 60 points. But I heard myself mentally say, "Hey, this is weighing on you. Like let's just get out. We're content here." So you just have to understand yourself. Like don't force things. Where me, like I'm fully fine sitting in a position typically for 3, 4, 5, 7 hours. I mean, I can get in at 8:30 in the morning and be in that position till 3:30 p.m. and I'm fully fine with that.
hmm um, and like we all talk about, there's no one perfect correct way to trade. There's phenomenal traders that trade any style that you can think of. There's traders that do really well at it. And I think it just takes a little bit of being honest with yourself. Like, don't try to, you know, if you're not the trader that's going to catch those 50 and 60 point moves on the regular, be honest with yourself and build a strategy that you're not going to do that. Or if you're a trader that you can do that, but if you're taking like little tiny scalps and getting chopped up, then yeah, do the 1 or 2 trade a day thing, get the bigger moves on each trade. You can get to the same destination on different roads.
Yeah, 100%. And we actually see that a lot where, you know, a trader may take multiple little scalps per day, but if they were to switch to a longer hold, they would have been more successful in the end. And then also the reverse, and it's relative to your risk. Search for those and help traders say, hey, look, you're taking 2, 3 trades, you're risking 200 a trade, but your stop is too tight. If you would have just made it, increased your stop double and held the trade for 30 minutes longer, you would have been far more successful. Would you like to try that approach? Do you need coaching with that approach?
Yeah,
Things like that.
I think for me, like, long ago, I just had, the realization with myself that the way that I read charts, the way that I read volume, I feel pretty dang confident that, any given time, I can identify a 5 to 6 point move automatically. Like, I can identify those automatically. Now, the likelihood that I can identify a 50 or a 60 point move any given time is drastically lower than what I can do those 5 and 6 point moves. So, I just work my strengths here.
Yeah, good point. It's a very good point.
Um, but we are continuing to push up. I mean, since we, both Steve and I went long, 30 minutes ago or so now, there's truly been no reason to sell. I mean, the trade has been just continuing to go up, but each of us had our own reasons that we wanted to take the money, which we're both up good money today. So, I don't think you shouldn't beat yourself up like, oh, the trade's still going, it's still going. Who cares? Like, you did the trade that you wanted to do when you got into it. What happens when you get out is irrelevant.
Oh yeah, I mean I couldn't agree more with you there. Like the wishing and wanting more, or oh we could have had twice as much. I don't doesn't bother. I don't know anywhere where you can go make, like I have 610 right here, and I was in that trade for 20 minutes. You show me another place you can make $610 in 20 minutes, and you have my attention.
Okay, I will show you another place. So over here on ES, it's a sophisticated.
I knew you were gonna say, I knew you were gonna say that. Okay, you have my attention. Here, I'll switch over there. We can go look at ES. I like ES.
So I'm up $1,000 on each account, and I'm trading on 3 of their Ultra accounts. So that's a 3K morning. sitting here nice and relaxed and easy, you know, drinking a mix between caffeine and water, popping nicotine, chatting with you guys. It's not a bad life if you just dial in with this, guys. Um, so a guy named StatBet is asking in our YouTube chat, is he the only one trading 5 minute VIBs?
Wait, say that again?
So, am I the only one trading 5 minute VIBS VIBs?
I'm not gonna act like I know everything. What is VI?
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what VIBs are.
VIBS?
Yeah, VIBS. I'm
Is that
assuming.
like a volume imbalance
I'm assuming that's what it
system or
is.
something?
Yeah, I'm assuming. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but either way, I'm not trading it. Gap on 5 minute candles.
Trade the
Um,
gap on 5 minute candles?
yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm obviously I don't really know what it is, so I'm not trading it. But I mean, if you have a system that works there and you're making money, I would say keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna not act like I know it all again. So I guess some form of clarification. Are you talking about like a draw to like liquidity or like a volume imbalance? Like, cause like here on ES from like 8:45 to the open, you pretty much had, I would consider a volume imbalance. I mean, this is pre-market, right? Like, yes, this was a retracement, but your real volume, I mean, comes from, I'm going to assume, and I haven't looked at ES in a long time, the day prior, which, yes, the day prior here. So I'm not sure of the question. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I mean, don't worry, StatBet. I mean, there's no uh, there's no wrong question here, but like I think me and Steve are both, very transparent. Like if we don't know everything, we don't know every strategy out there because there's thousands of them. So, I have no problem telling you guys that, yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not being rude or acting like I know everything, but if it's working for you, man, then do it. Like, you know, people don't know my strategy, right? I don't know yours, but obviously they both work. I don't know Gary's strategy. He doesn't know mine, but his works and mine works too. So,
Man,
yeah, go for it, man.
I've been pretty open about my strategy. I just keep popping nicotine till the buzz hits, and then keep drinking caffeine until I'm at a good focus level. That's my strategy.
That's that's why I got the coffee right here next to me, man. I just keep slugging dark roast black coffee until something sticks and I get a win.
I saw a hilarious meme this morning when I woke up. I can't remember who tweeted it, but it was like beginner trader, and then it shows like all of these books that they're reading, like all of these charts with the indicators, etc., and then it shows experienced trader with a cigarette and a cup of coffee.
That's well, it was a couple weeks ago. I was joking with you, right? Like I don't want to watch some fresh faced kid or person on a live stream, right? Like I want to see the trader that's got bloodshot eyes, bags under his eyes, and a balding head. By the way, that's me. Yeah, that's so true. It's funny though, right?
um,
Let's see here, man. Yeah, you're this might consolidate here on this ES, or you could get a little pullback.
Yeah, I mean, my truthful answer is I don't know right now. I could see it consolidating right here and then popping and testing the high, or I could also see it popping back under the open range. So I don't know. So I'm not taking a trade right here.
Yeah, you could. You could get something into the mid to low 50s here, but yeah, if it doesn't fit your system or your edge, there's no point in taking the trade, right?
Yeah, especially, when we've done solid trades this morning already. I mean, I know me and you are both up good money. The chat, if they followed that, they're going to be up good money. So we don't have the need to take a trade right now.
No, definitely not. Especially with a news day like today with CPI, that's typically a very big event.
hmm
So,
And
um,
and that's a good point as well. Like, this is a good talking point. Sometimes, when I'm streaming on here every day and stuff like that, some days it might seem like it's very boring, like we're not doing anything, we're just sitting here, and sometimes like. Me too. I'm like, all right, well, like I need to find something for these people. I need to find something, but that would be a mistake because if you just take a subpar entry, would you rather just sit here and not be in anything or just, find random nonsense entries for the sake of being in something and lose money? So it's, you know, cash is a position.
oh, 100% position. I think some, actually, not even newer traders, right? I think all traders sometimes fail to realize that not being in a position is also trading. So, like, we as retail traders, because that's truly what we are, right? Have a unique ability to where we have the opportunity to not trade. And I think most people don't capitalize on that opportunity and sit there and say, hey, this isn't fitting my edge, my system. Today's not my day. I'm just going to close the charts and we'll come back tomorrow. Nobody's forcing you to trade, right? So, as a trader, not trading is just as good.
Oh, nice. It looks like Scalper Don. He's up 1,100 on the day. That's pretty sick.
What does he trade?
I'm going to assume that he's trading ES.
With the sophisticated folks.
I would imagine. Nope. Okay, I'm sorry. I spoke too soon. He's a degenerate trading NASDAQ.
Ah, I love my NASDAQ degenerates. Scalper Don, come on, we can be buddies today.
You think you know a guy, man. I,
Jeez, Gary,
I
you're
was
a little partial to your ES, huh? We ride at dawn for ES.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna. The stream ends today, guys. I'm not streaming anymore. I got a bunch of traders on my stream. They're not even trading with me. We're done.
Too funny, man.
But no, if you guys do want to trade NQ, like I said, it's phenomenal. I mean, I traded it on Friday, and I had a 6,000 day on Friday with NQ. Um, it's good. I mean, when I'm trading ES, I would say, is this a good number, Steve? Like what, 80 to 90% of the time they're going to move together?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty darn accurate. You're going to get about a 10 to 15% variance, but for the most part they're going to move together and you might have like a 2 to 5 minute lag in the correlation of the move sometimes when they finally get to decide to move together. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into the technical weeds. Yeah, 80 to 90%, they're doing the same thing.
Sure. All right, so we're getting more viewers coming in on Twitter now. So we're at 1,000 viewers on Twitter. So if you guys are just tuning in, we've had, I think I've done 3 scalps this morning to the long side. I think that was my number. Steve, I think he's done one on NQ.
Yeah, I took one trade.
And we're both, up around the same amount of money. So we're just sitting here right now waiting for, price to confirm which direction it wants to go. But we're more than happy to take any questions that you guys might have. Oh, good job, Patrick. Yeah, so Patrick said he has a red day yesterday and made it all back this morning so far. That kind of goes to what Steve was saying earlier in the stream. If you take a red trade on a certain day and it's just not your day, walk away. It's okay to be red on a certain day. Just show back up in a better headspace with maybe better price action the next day and make your money back. Don't just keep sitting there digging a hole for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I myself I think I'm currently sitting at like an 83% win rate, losing days. And I mean, a win rate doesn't mean anything. I'm just referencing that for every 10 trades or days I might take, I'm going to lose 2 of those currently. So, just walk away. Really, that's the best advice. So, I mean, he did the right thing, right? Red day, walk away. It's not my day. Came back the next day, fresh mind, like Gary said.
Yeah.
He got it all back. Probably and some, right? Probably got it all back and more, right?
Yeah, and that's I was having another phone call with somebody else yesterday, because I do like to engage and interact with as many of you as I can. And if there's anything I can do to help you, then, you know, when I get free time, by all means, I'll do my best to help you. But um, there's a lot of prop firms out there, guys, and, I'm going to talk about this, not Steve. This is me talking. Um, there's a lot of firms out there that you could choose from. I mean, I don't care if you trade a personal account, a prop account. I think you can make a lot of money with props, but the reason that I, kind of attach myself with Halcyon is one, they truly have rule-free trading, meaning, well, you can't lose a certain amount of money depending on your account size. That's the rule, right? So whatever your account size is, it comes with a certain drawdown. As long as you don't lose that much money, you're good to go. You can trade it ever how you want. There's a lot of firms out there that don't let you do that, and like they put little booby traps out there, so to speak, that like, oh well, if you don't trade within 20% consistency of every trading day, then you can't get a payout, or we're going to fail your account. Or even more of a nightmare thing is some firms out there will change the rules like every day. Like there's a certain firm that I think they change the rules once a week, and it's designed to trip traders up. Um, so the goal that I have is I want to do these streams, good solid trades, the best I can each day, hoping to help get you guys past these accounts and get your payouts. Like we'll just keep base hitting our way day by day and get people payouts. And I've vetted Halcyon extensively, behind the scenes before I ever came out and posted about them because, you know, it's not my firm, so to speak, but if I attach my name to it, then I want to make sure that the firm I'm attaching my name to really does make it the best setup for you guys to benefit from. So please, if you guys have any questions or like if you have any things that you're struggling with your trading, DM me or it might take some time for me to get to it depending on when I see it, but I promise I will respond. I'll hop on a call with you guys. We'll chat it out and see whatever tweaks we can make to make you guys profitable traders. I think that's my goal, and I think Steve's mission with Halcyon is to actually provide funding for traders in an environment that you can really change your lives on if you just dial in and do it right.
Yeah, that is our goal. 100%. I guess to the base hit mentality really does reign true. So as a firm, we only have like a one-time payment for an account, so it's not a rebilling cycle. You don't have this, rebill date looming. We do have ultra accounts that are a monthly subscription, so there is a rebill there. But for like your standard accounts, if you're getting started or you want to, take us for a test drive or you're new to props, it's just a one-time payment. I mean, you can take 3 months to pass the account. There is no rush. The market will always be there. So months to pass the account, who cares? And then in another, month or 2 or 3 months, if you can consistently withdraw from that account, it's just another stream of income.
Yeah,
So, you
and
know, I mean, Gary's right, the base hit stuff and stuff like that. I will, if it's okay with you, Gary, I mean, I will touch on kind of what you said too. So we are by no means, new to prop. Everybody's heard me say that multiple times. I'll say it again. So we don't need to, you know, throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, what works and what doesn't. We to a degree know what works. So we're not in like the rule changing game, stuff like that. Our accounts might take you a little bit longer to get to a payout, but they're structured more for the trader. And, there has to be a trade off, right? So one firm, it may say, you can pass it in a day, 10 days to get a payout. All right, that's 11 trading days if you started with an eval. With us, it might take you 20. We don't have consistency rules. We're not going to hit you for dollar cost averaging, news trading, things like that. So there is a trade off. You just have to decide, do you want more freedom to trade or do you want more rules and hopefully get to it quicker, right? But in my opinion, I don't think 9 or 10 days is bad considering all the rules that you're going to get somewhere else,
well,
and
a- and to
I'm
speak
a
on
very
that,
vocal firm owner, so I'm not going to say any other company's name, but I mean they're kind of predatory to a degree.
yeah, I think there's a psychology thing, like some people they flash, oh, get a payout in one day. It's like, well, in theory that sounds nice, but here's what you got to realize: to get to that 1 day payout, you have, a whole handful of rules that's going to make it hard for you to get there. And to get there in 1 day, you're going to have to like really push it with some size and just hope for the best and hope that you don't blow through your drawdown and blow the account up because what good is advertising, 1 day payout or whatever it might be if the rules are designed that, you know, 5% of traders are ever going to get to that 1 day payout and then you just keep resetting accounts. So, me, like, whether I'm trading in a personal account or this, I mean, I'm not taking my money out every single day anyway. I'm building my account that way I can take bigger size and make more money. That way, do you want to take $100 out, every single day and then be in a tight range, or do you want to like build your account like, oh, I'm taking $15,000 out now, stress free? It's kind of, you know, just think about your career and your future. Like, do you want to make a lot of money, or do you just want to take the quick little scratch off ticket?
Yeah, that's a really valid point too, and I think that's where we are a little bit different, where we want you to have the account for longevity. So again, it goes back to it might take you a little bit longer here, but it's designed to keep you in it longer for your benefit. It's not
Mm-hmm.
for, us. Like at the end of the day, it could be for our benefit because we can identify you as a solid, consistent trader and then copy trade you. But these accounts are designed for you to be in it, a little longer. And again, I'm not saying any single firm or anything like that, but I mean, I can tell you with, all the experience that I have in the markets and on the charts, I mean, those 1 day pass, 1 day payout, whatever you want to call it, the 1 day accounts, I mean, when we did our little test run, I blew up one of them. I mean, you have to over leverage to the point where it's like, whoa, like this is a little too much. So I mean, if I struggled with it, I don't know how other people can be successful at that. It's a mind thing. It's just, to trick your mind to think that you can get something instantaneously. The market
Mm.
is not instantaneous, I assure you of that.
Someone on the YouTube chat just said, I hate when they change rules on funded accounts after you finally pass the eval. And that is something, that a lot of firms will do that. They'll have one set of rules in eval, and then you get to funded, and like, all right, wait, we're switching it up on you. Um, and I saw, it was like this week or something, that there was another firm out there that they're funded traders, they're on funded accounts, right? They sent them all an email saying, well, we're going to make you pass another eval to prove that you can actually trade and that it wasn't just luck, which seems like, I don't know how that is not, you know, bad business. It is bad business practice, but I don't know how that's flying. I really don't.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. So I guess I can go in a little bit. I mean, I'm not in a trade right now. And so our funded accounts are very similar to like your average, performance account, whatever, funded account from another firm,
Order
right?
filled.
So in our experience, when we did our trial run with the other firms, let's say I have a 50K account, right? So in order to withdraw from that performance or funded account, majority of them, there's only one or two firms, and you don't have to have like a consistency rule in their account, but typically you have to adhere to a consistency rule, and then pretty much every single firm you have to build what they call a buffer. Well, I'm not going to play wordsmith, so our accounts have a profit target. Exactly what it is, right? So you have to build a buffer somewhere else. With us, it's a profit target. The two are the exact same. Now, the difference being once you move that account into a sim brokerage, which it doesn't cost you any extra to do that, in our accounts, you can withdraw inside of, that profit target, or what the other companies are calling a buffer. Excuse me. There, you're not allowed to withdraw inside of that buffer. So you basically, on a 50K account, made 2,000 or $2,500 in profit that you'll never be able to touch, which I don't see how that's, good for a trader, right? So you worked your way to $2,500 in profit that you can't touch, and now you have to work your way even further more to be able to withdraw, because you can't take any money inside that buffer. Again, with us, we call it a profit target because that's what it is, but you can withdraw inside of that once you're in your sim brokerage account. So it is no different. We just have the days, the profit target. A lot of them have days, and you have to build your buffer to be able to withdraw. There really is no difference, except again, you can withdraw inside of that with us. So that's just a little explanation about, I guess, kind of how it works and how we're different.
I have a little long scalp on right here, seeing if we can break out of this. An argument to be made, a flag forming on the two. Uh, so I just want to get a decent little pop above that, and I'll take the trade off. Just looking for a little layup here.
Yeah, it's a good little trade. There was one too while I was babbling away, so I didn't take it. But in this mid to high 30s on NQ, 22,030, it's gone up 20 points. So yeah, I guess I should stop talking and start trading, huh? Let's check on your precious ES here, Gary.
I mean, my precious ES is the gold standard.
Yeah, that's a nice little scalp there. Would you get in the low 60s?
Yeah, so I'm in at 60.62 is my entry. I just took it right when I said.
Yeah. Yeah, that could pop up into the high 60s.
That's all I'm looking for. We get above 65, 66, I'll probably be happy with taking it off. Um, I don't have size on this one because I'm at a decent day already, and you know the fact remains that we could start pushing back down. So I'm just got one contract on, letting it ride. But so far, not a bad morning that we've had. We've kept it nice and tight and disciplined. We've scalped our way to a decent morning on a CPI day. I mean, it's all you could hope for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully content with uh, my P&L for today, 100%.
If you're interested, Steve, I'm almost finished with a course that I'm putting out on ES. I'll do a 1 hour coaching call for $5,000 with you if you want to learn how to trade my system.
Sign me up. I'm surprised I haven't gotten one of those DMs today, and then somebody run up to me and be like, "Wait, didn't this guy DM you?" Now he's calling out people that sell courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in. Should we post it now and promote it for you?
Yeah, but I'm only taking the first 10 people, only 10 people at 5,000 a pop.
Wow.
So
Jeez.
don't miss out on your opportunity.
I'm gonna buy all 10 tickets that way nobody else can see it.
Yeah, I'll start selling tickets like Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Man, NQ is looking like it wants to grind all the way to the uh, peaks of this news candle today.
Yeah, I mean, all indications I'm seeing on ES is it's wanting to do the same thing.
Yeah, we're just slowly achieving level by level by level here with minor little pullbacks. It looks like 15-point pullbacks. 15 to 20
Order
point
filled.
pullbacks. So I guess for any traders that like to get in on pullbacks, it's good to know, mark your candles and start checking how it's reacting, right? Like what a pullback is for the day. So at the open, we had 30 points. Then we had 20 in here. Now we're getting into 15 here. Your 15 to 20, 25 point range is a pullback if you're looking to get in on a pullback.
I just
Just
took mine
kind of,
off. My little long. I was just looking for quite literally a layup, like I said. So I held myself accountable there. I knew I was looking for just a tiny little couple point move. Got it. Puts me at 1,100 on each account. So $3,300 morning. I'm not disappointed with that.
I see what you're doing there, man. You got to make your PNL look bigger than my PNL because you trade ES and I trade NQ. I see what you're doing there, Gary. I see it. It's
Well,
okay.
well,
It's
that was
okay.
my plan, man, just to show people that they can trade the gold standard. There's been a lot of discrepancies out there that NQ is where you make all the money. It's just not true.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you proved it to him today, huh?
The stream stays alive.
Live to stream another day.
Yeah, we ride it done.
Yes. 62.55. Okay, so we're halfway through what could be a potential pullback. This could be anywhere from a 10 to 15 point pullback because the pullbacks on NQ are getting tighter. So you could be in for like low 50s, maybe high 40s if you were trying to get in on this. I'd keep a tight stop though.
Makes sense if you like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, guys, me personally, we're here at 11 Eastern time. So I'm happy with my morning so far. It looks like the price action has slowed down. Uh, so I don't see any reason for me personally to sit here in the chop. Um, I'm more than happy with taking my profit here and calling this a morning.
Yeah, I am too as well. I mean, it's a good day all around.
Yeah, and I think that's important too, guys. Just understanding that not all hours in the market are created equal. The first couple hours are going to be your highest volatility that you can get chances for decent scalps, nice moves, and then you start entering the chop zone, and that's in my. I don't have data that prop firms have, but I could just guesstimate here that a lot of traders just get wrecked in the chop zone when there's really no range and it's just, bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I mean to piggyback on what you said, like I'm fully content too for the day. Take your $600 and run. You just extracted 500-600 out of the market. Just get out while the getting's good.
Yeah,
So
man. I mean, that's
I'm
that's a lot of cups of coffee and a lot of packs of Zen. So I mean, that keeps you going for another day.
yeah, yeah, it definitely does. I can pay my mortgage for the month now.
Oh, thank God, man. I was getting worried.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah, I mean, I'm done for the day if you are too, Gary. I appreciate you.
yeah, well, thank you guys for watching with us. We have 1.2K here on Twitter that watched with us this morning. So thank you guys for spending your time with us. I hope that you guys either learned something or made some money with us. There was good setups that we took. Nice and chill day. Thank you to Steve again for joining us on stream to answer the questions that he did and teach us how to trade NQ. Um, so I appreciate all of your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for everybody that joined us as well. Love the questions. Can't wait to do it again. We'll keep plugging away.
Yeah, Chris just said y'all are going to leave us to our own devices. We are, so this is a little, test for you guys. Don't go rogue on us. If you're green on the day, just keep your profit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're green, even if it's $50, just close it down. Take your money and run. You extracted money from one of the most difficult professions on the face of the earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, someone just asked what times are best for ES. I'm going to assume that you're probably a SPY trader. You're trading SPY options. So ES is going to trade the exact same way that SPY is trading. Whatever way that SPY is moving while it's open, ES is doing the exact same thing. So it's the same times for SPY. So the first hour and a half to 2 hours after market open is probably the best, and then the last like hour and a half, you get more volatility. Um, in between those two time periods, it's kind of the chop zone. Now that's generally speaking, there's going to be some outlier days that something crazy happens, a tweet comes out or a news event, something that we can't predict. But generally speaking, those are the time zones.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's typically when I like to trade too. Like 9 to 11:30-ish, something like that. And then if I do hop back on the charts, like if I didn't get my setup in the morning, like 2:30 to close.
Yeah. Um, All right, well, that sounds good, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us. I'll be back on stream tomorrow morning at Market Open. And then if there's any questions that you guys might have, send them my way or send Steve a DM at the Halcyon account, and we'll be more than happy to take care of it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.